In this Build Me session, you'll learn how to set up and test customer price groups. When adding items to a customer's order, Evasys checks for special pricing in sales promotions or customer price groups, and the item is automatically added to the order at the special price if applicable. Customer price groups can be used to automate discounted pricing structures across individuals or groups of customers. Customer price groups are ideal for setting up employee pricing, tiered customer pricing, wholesale pricing, points reward award level pricing, as well as any other type of pricing structure you've implemented. Prior to setting up customer price groups, we recommend you complete the following setup tasks in Evasys and review the accompanying Build Me and Core training videos. Product lines, customer types, inventory item setup or import, vendor and manufacturer setup or import, item discount levels, and customer import if you're planning to create pricing for specific customers. Customer pricing can be customized using any of the following criteria: quantity, price, stores, transaction types, vendors, manufacturers, product lines and sub-departments, specific items, item types, customer types, and specific customers. Let's look at an example that could be implemented using customer price groups. In our example, the company gives employees special pricing. The employee pricing structure is set up with the following conditions. Company employees receive pricing of 25% over cost. The pricing only applies to point of sale and sales transactions in stores 1, 2, and 3. The pricing does not apply to any service, repair, or recurring maintenance such as equipment and cleaning supplies. The pricing does not apply to any construction-related products or services. And the pricing does not apply to special order items. Let's look at how to set up this price group in Evasys. First, open the task from the Product Setup tool or go to Administration, Inventory, Pricing, Customer Price Groups. Click Add and enter a name for your price group. We'll call this price group Employee. Since our price group should be effective immediately and never expires, we'll leave the effective date as today and the expiration date as June 18th, 2099. We will leave the box labeled Is for Points Reward unchecked. You will only check this box if you will be using your price group in conjunction with a points reward or loyalty program. The next step for setting up the price group is to add filters on the Price Details tab. Price details determine the pricing structure and how the pricing is applied. You can use multiple filters if needed. However, we recommend using as few filters as necessary to ensure maximum efficiency in order entry and point of sale. For example, if you were setting up a price group with a 25% discount on the chemicals, barbecue, and service product lines, you have the option to add one filter for all 3 product lines, or create 3 filters, one filter for each product line. We recommend the first option, simply adding one filter that includes all applicable product lines. This is the best option if all the filters are the same. If the pricing method or percentages were different per product line, then you would need to add a separate filter. For example, chemicals are 25% off retail, barbecues 20% off, and service 10% off. Let's add filters for the employee price group. Click Add to create a filter and enter a name. The name might indicate a particular product line if the filter is being used primarily for an entire group of products. Alternately, the name could be general. For instance, in our example, there is only one filter, so we will generalize the name by calling it Employee Pricing. Choose an effective and expires date if this particular filter is effective for a set period of time. Otherwise, leave as is, and the pricing won't expire until 2099. The whiteboard can be used for any internal notes. On the next tab, Quantity and Price, we can choose a quantity minimum and maximum and select a pricing method. If we entered a quantity into the minimum field, such as 10, the employee would need to purchase at least 10 of each item to receive the special pricing. Our employee pricing has no quantity restrictions, so we'll leave the quantity fields at 0 and $99,999. We will use a price filter called Cost Plus Base Price with a cost plus markup of 25%, since our employees pay 25% over cost. Notice you could also choose Fixed Price, Retail Margin, or Percent Discount as well. Next, we'll apply store and transaction type filters. Remember, in our example, our employees only received this pricing at stores 1, 2, and 3, and on point of sale and sales order transactions. They would not receive this special pricing in the service, delivery, and construction department, or on service orders and maintenance contracts. We'll select Retail 1, 2, and 3 under Stores, and Applies to Point of Sale and Applies to Sales Orders under Transaction Types. We'll skip over the Vendors tab since our pricing is not dependent on vendors or manufacturers. However, if needed, we could choose to narrow our pricing to items from particular vendors or manufacturers by selecting them here. Our pricing only applies to particular product lines, so we'll go to the Product Lines tab and select only the applicable product lines. You'll notice in the lower left-hand corner an FYI message. If our pricing of 25% over cost applied to all product lines, meaning the employee receives special pricing on all items, regardless of what item they purchase, then we could leave all product lines unchecked. This functionality applies to all checkbox filters in the Customer Price Group setup. If the filter applies to everything, then leave all the boxes unchecked. Only use the checkboxes if you need to limit the pricing. Since our pricing applies to all product lines except maintenance items and construction-related products, we will make sure the following product lines are unchecked: Cleaning and Maintenance, Pool Shell Forming Materials, Pool and Spa Plumbing and Plastic Goods, and the Service product line. Next, we'll move on to the Items tab. In this group of filters, we can filter on a specific item type or item code. Since our pricing doesn't apply to special order items, we'll uncheck the special order item type. The final tab is the Customers tab. Here, I can add a particular customer to the price group, or I can select a customer type. Since our pricing applies to all employees and I want to ensure the pricing is automatically enforced, I will choose the Employee Customer type. Now, anytime a user enters a customer into the database with the Employee Customer type, the employee will automatically receive the pricing we set up in the Employee Price Group. For more detailed information on each filter in Price Groups, please review the Customer Price Groups help file or knowledge base article. Now, let's look at two transactions so you can see how the pricing is implemented. Our customer, Dawn Smith, has a customer type of employee. She needs a bottle of chlorine from the chemicals product line. Since this item is included in our price group, we expect Dawn to receive a special price of 25% over cost on the bottle of chlorine. Notice when we add the chlorine to Dawn's point of sale transaction, the unit price is automatically reduced and the promotion column displays the name of the applied price group. Let's add a product from cleaning and maintenance to make sure Dawn does not receive a reduced price on items in that product line, since our price group is set up to filter out cleaning and maintenance items. Notice Dawn must pay full retail price for the brush from the cleaning and maintenance product line, and the price group name isn't listed in the promotion column. Our price group is working perfectly. Now we have a few tips for setting up and testing your price groups. It is best to set up a few price groups in your test database until you are confident in the pricing structure. You should avoid entering any transactions into the production database until go live, so testing transactions with your price groups should be done in test mode. There are a couple of ways to test your price groups. First, you can test pricing by creating a transaction just like we did in our example with Dawn Smith. Again, it's okay to test transactions in the test database, but not in production. If you're setting up a price group in production and want to test it, you should find a customer on the Main Customer tab and highlight their name. Then, go to the Main Inventory tab and select an item you'd expect to have special pricing based on your price group filters. If the price group is active and working, you'll see the item listed as Special Price Item in red, and the customer's name will appear in the item preview window with their special price. If the pricing doesn't appear as expected, make sure your price group is active and double-check the price group filters. The following are the most common setup issues with price group details: product line or item. For example, if your price group is filtered on product line, make sure the price group has the product line checked and you're adding an item from that product line. Next, check the Customer tab. If your price group is filtered on customer type, make sure you're using a customer that is that type. You can change the customer type on the Options screen in the Customer profile. Next is Store. Double-check the store you're logged into matches the store filters on your price group. Finally, please consult your project manager before setting up pricing structures built on fixed price or pricing structures that are extremely detailed, requiring excessive filters. In these scenarios, we recommend that you reevaluate your pricing methods and determine whether it's possible to simplify your pricing structures to prevent delays during sales transactions and to ensure easy maintenance of the price groups. You've completed the Customer Price Groups Build Me session. You may now access your Product Setup tool to complete the setup in your database. Please contact your project manager with any setup questions related to this video.